You can't save a life. You're only delaying a death.
You know why I'm here. 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 They know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here.
Christianity is not a religion. Understand that. It's not a religion. Someone says, I'm now in the Christian religion. You're in the wrong place.
Did Jesus come to establish a new religion? Well, definitely not. He came to encourage us to have faith in God.
Religion.
I just don't understand how people can be so stupid. You can't be that stupid.
Yikes! That's gonna be a yikes from me. Holy.
Hey guys, it's me, Jeremiah. Welcome to the video presentation where we talk about the ongoing thoughts in my mind to distract you from the decay of Western society. Even though this topic is related to the decay of Western society because it's about a false teaching in the church. So I was thinking about what to do for my project. And well, this is it. The video. And boy oh boy, this took a long time. I had to look up how to edit, I had to look up what to do, how to write a script, all this other stuff. Then I was going to record last week, but then I got the vaccine and then I broke out in a bad fever. And yeah, it was pretty fun though, but it took a lot out of me.
Small price to pay for salvation.
You're insane.
So there's no secret that there's this ongoing debate about, is Christianity a religion or a relationship? And there are many people in Christianity who claim that it's a relationship. Well, guess what? Those people are clowns. There are also people out there who claim that Christianity is just a religion. No relationship part, just do it by the book. Well, guess what? Those people are also clowns. I'm joking. Don't. It's just for the video. I don't really mean that. Okay, so. Yeah. Well, Jeremiah, if it isn't a relationship or a religion, well then what is it? Well, guess what? I did the research, so you didn't have to. I went through a lot. I went through conversations with myself, conversations with the Father, conversations with my own father, conversations with people that I knew, conversations with people that I didn't know. Some people thought I was crazy, but hey, it's okay. I've been called worse. I went through a couple mental breakdowns, maybe like 24,000 mental breakdowns. I went through a lot, okay? It took me a long time to get to this. Well, Jeremiah, then what is it? If it isn't either or, it's both.
10-yard penalty, first down.
You're probably thinking, Jeremiah, that just don't make no sense. And I know it doesn't make any sense. But trust me, after this video, this concept will make a lot of sense. Or at least I hope it does. I don't know. So buckle up, people. We're going to go over this concept of relationship and religion within Christianity. But first, a word from our sponsors. I'm just kidding. I don't have any sponsors.
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back to the racetrack and getting into my race car.
Are you okay with Joey moving forward?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting in my race car and getting back here at Phoenix.
Speaking of that, are you glad that this is over and now you can get in the car where you're comfortable and get back to racing?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting back into my car and being here in Phoenix.
They are so even on total strikes at the moment.
All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, 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 go.
concept of religion and relationship within Christianity is really, really interesting. A great way to wrap up this whole concept is healthy religion leads to a healthy relationship with the Lord. That's it. That's the video. Bye, guys. No, but seriously, I'm gonna try and explain this concept the best I can. There's a stereotype against religion that, people who just go by the book, and that, when you label Christianity as a religion, those type of people are the people who do a lot of talking and do a lot of doing, but don't really mean it within their heart, and are just are shying away from the Lord. Even though the same people who preach that are doing the exact same thing, but whatever.
Write that down, write that down!
There are 4 ways to look at this concept. Healthy religion, which leads to a healthy relationship. Unhealthy religion and unhealthy relationship. Now, there are different commas you could put this, You could put healthy religion with unhealthy relationship, healthy religion with healthy relationship, unhealthy relationship with unhealthy religion. Now, let's explain these concepts a lot deeper than what they mean. Now, you're probably thinking, Jeremiah, where do you find this in the Bible? I don't see nothing about healthy relationship, about the religion. Like, what are you talking about, man? You little crazy. Everywhere. You can find them everywhere in the Bible. I promise you that. If you have the right mind and if you have the right lens on, I promise you, I can confidently say maybe 90% of the Bible demonstrates a healthy relationship and a healthy religion when we are with God. Now, I don't have time to go over the entire Bible, and that would take a lot out of me, okay? And this video will be really, really, really long. We're going to look at certain scriptures, and since this is a general of the epistles class, we're going to look at scriptures from there. So let's take a look at some scriptures brought to you by Logos. Hey, look at that. We did get our sponsorship. That's cool. So I know this book is not in the epistles, but the concept of unhealthy religion is just laid out for us in Luke chapter 6, verses 6 through 11. And boy, oh boy, it starts our beloved Pharisees. Don't we just love those guys? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, they just lay out the Bible for us, or lay out what not to do, I should say, not exactly what we should do. Boy, oh boy. It sucks to be them, because now they're in history as one of the worst people on the planet, but oh well. Now, I'm not going to read out the entire scripture, because it'll take me forever. This video will be really long. But basically what is happening here is that Jesus is trying to heal a man on the Sabbath, but the Pharisees are saying no. And we see here that the Pharisees are holding on to the law and how things are, instead of healing a man on the Sabbath. They're not willing to heal a man on the Sabbath, but they're willing to hold the rules of the Sabbath? How does someone make it make sense? Because that don't make no sense to me. And obviously this upsets Jesus, and we see that their unhealthy way of doing things is leading to the devalue of human life. Jesus is saying, hey, this guy, he needs healing. I have the power to do it, and I want to do it. But the Pharisees are in the corner saying, no, you can't do that. And they're getting angry at Jesus for trying to heal a man on the Sabbath. They're doing that to the point where they are devaluing a human person, or just a human being in general. And to Jesus, that is just immoral, and to any human being, that is immoral. This is a great demonstration of unhealthy religion, because we're seeing that they're holding on to their version of Christianity, or their version of following God, to the point where they don't even value human life. And there are many times through the Gospels where we see the Pharisees do this. The next concept I want to point out is healthy religion. We can see healthy religion in James chapter 1, verses 19 through 27. Verses 19 specifically talks about being quick to listen and slow to speak. And then verse 20 goes on about, human anger does not produce righteousness, and then verse 22 through 25 talks about being obedient. And then the next verses, 26, 27, talks about controlling the tongue. James is laying out a foundation of the believer of what they should do, of how they should live their lifestyle. Or how they should live their life, not lifestyle, but how they should live their life. He's giving us a standard to live on, so that we don't just go out and just do whatever, because we are representing the Lord. This is a view of healthy religion. He's giving us a view of what it means to live in the standards of God by being obedient to the Lord, controlling the tongue, being quick to listen, slow to speak. not being angry all the time and just relying on our anger. He's giving us a, blueprint of how to live this lifestyle. And if we go into the next concept, which is unhealthy relationship, we can see this in Jude verses 3 and 4 specifically. People claiming that God always allows us to just live immoral lives because of his grace. And Jude is like, nah, fam, that's not how it works. There are people out there who think that they can just live whatever they want to because they're in a relationship. Well, that's not how a relationship works. You have to have core values. You have to have standards within the relationship. And the standard that God has for us is very, very, very high compared to the average human being, which is why we can't just go out and just live this immoral lifestyle. And we see this demonstrated in Jude chapter 3 of an unhealthy relationship, of how they are preaching of how you can just, go out in the name of Jesus and do whatever you want to. But Jude is saying, no, that's not the way how we do it. James also demonstrates of what we should be doing and when we are in a relationship with the Lord by establishing a healthy religion. The last concept we can look at is a healthy relationship. And we see that in James chapter 1 verses 5 through 8 and James chapter 2 verses 14 through 15. 5 through 8 talks about, James, telling us to ask God for wisdom in case we need it, not to waver for an unloyal person. Chapter 2 verses 14 through 25 says to show your faith by your actions, not just by your words. James telling us to ask for the Father for wisdom and telling us to show our actions by our faith is a demonstration of a healthy relationship. James wants us to, ask the Father for any type of wisdom that we want or need in the moment. To me, that reflects a healthy relationship. If we want to reflect the Father, it makes sense to ask God. And of course, there are other standards to live by not waiting for unloyalty person, show your faith by your actions, not just by your words. That kind of wraps up the whole concept of a healthy religion and healthy relationship as well. Hi guys. So for this next part, I'm going to be using an example. And I am 100% aware that these women that I am using, because it's going to be girls involved, I understand that they are married. Okay? I have no chance with these women because they are celebrities and I will never, ever, ever meet them in my life. So please don't it's just an example. It's for the concept. I promise you after the example, when I go through it, you'll know where I'm going, you know what I'm talking about. Just don't take it too seriously. It's just your imagination. Okay? Okay. With that being said, let's say I'm out. Let's say that I go out to Starbucks, right? Just some random, even though I don't like coffee, whatever, just an example. Let's say that I go to Starbucks. And let's say I see Gal Gadot, the Wonder Woman, at this Starbucks. Now, Gal Gadot is like one of my celebrity crushes, alright? Oh my, if I had a chance with that woman, my goodness, that would be a dream. But obviously she's married, so it's, out of the window. But if I had someone who looked like that, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Let's say I had the, confidence to go up to her and ask her out on a date. Because, we're in a fantasy world. Why not?
Do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown.
And let's say that she actually says yes.
Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Excuse me.
Finally!
Yes! Yeah!
So we plan a time, we plan a date, all this other stuff. And as we go on this date, it's really good. She's really nice. She's nice to the waitress. She's nice to strangers. We have good conversation, yada, yada, yada. We're really, on the same wavelength. So I enjoyed the conversation and I enjoyed the date so much that I asked her out on a second date. So we go on the second date, but this time she, shows up late. And it's just kind of random how she shows up late, and she doesn't tell me why or how it happened. And for someone that values communication, that's a little upsetting to me. You don't communicate to me that you were late or why were you late, all this other stuff. But obviously I ask her later and she tells me what happens, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I go on a third date, and this time it's a lot different. She's late, she's mean to people, she's mean to the waitress. Now we still have good conversations because I'm pretty sure she's still a nice girl and just a nice person in general, but we still have good conversations and stuff. And as we're still having good conversations, she's still being mean and just being really, really off. So I say, okay, why not? Let's just go on another one. So on this fourth date, she's just done. She is not really talking to me, even though we still have good conversations because she's a nice girl. She's not really talking to me. She's on her phone. She's less interested. She's really mean. She doesn't really communicate with me. She's not being honest. She says one thing but doesn't really mean what she says. A lot of shady things. So let's say I go home from the date and I go to my homeboy and I'm like, yo, this is what's happening. If my homeboy had a brain, which he should, he would tell me, yeah, bro, don't date that girl. She crazy. Like, don't do that. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I call her, tell her, hey, don't want to move on, yada yada yada, all that stuff. We end it there. And let's say about 2 months later, right? Let's say that I'm at Starbucks again and I see the Meghan Markle, the queen herself, at this Starbucks. Excuse me.
He gets him again.
Who do you think you are? I am.
So I see her at the Starbucks and I have the confidence to ask her out because it's like, well, I asked out Wonder Woman and she said yes. I mean, let's just see what happens. It's a fantasy world. Why not? Let's just go for it. Shoot or shoot. You miss the 100% of the shots that you, I forgot how it went. Oh, why not? Let's just ask her, shoot or shoot. Let's just do it. And she says yes. So we go on a date and things are very, very good. She's honest, she's communicating with me. She was late on one date, but then she tells you why, and she's very apologetic and stuff. She's extremely nice and extremely sweet. All these other things that I value within a relationship. She hits it, we're very compatible, yada yada yada. And let's say I go to my homeboy and I'm like, hey bro, this was happening with me and the queen, whatever, yada yada yada. And he's like, bro, if you don't wife her up, I'm gonna smack you in the face because this girl, you better do it. She's everything that you want. That's what our relationship with the Lord should look like. The first part of, me going out with Gal Gadot is when people say, oh, well, relationship with the Lord, that's all we need. We don't need this religion, yada, yada, yada. When you say that, you are not putting yourself up to a standard of Christianity. Healthy religion is what gives us the standard and the boundaries within a relationship. When you're in a relationship, you don't talk to other girls. You don't talk to other guys, if you're a girl, obviously. But you don't talk to other people. You don't flirt with other people. You don't go out and date other people. You're catered to one person. You don't do that other stuff. You are, in a relationship with one person. So whenever someone talks about, it's just a relationship, no religion, that's the standard of living by. They're not giving themselves a boundary. They're not giving themselves a standard to live by. So that's why you see them do all these crazy things, all these immoral things, because they don't live by a standard. The healthy relationship and healthy religion aspect is when I'm on a date with Meghan Markle and we have an understanding of what our core values are. Communication, honesty, being open with each other, being with one another, valuing others, valuing each other, speaking up for those who are marginalized, things like that. That's the standard that we live by if we're dating, quote unquote, in this scenario, not in real life. But if we're dating in this scenario, that's the standard that we're living by. And so when we're in a relationship with the Lord, that's how it is. It's a healthy establishment of the religion, and that leads us to a healthy relationship with Him. So if you don't remember anything that I just said, if you were just zoning out or, thinking about why the heck I was talking about Meghan Markle, whatever, here's one thing that you can remember. And I've been basically saying the same thing, but a healthy religion leads to a healthy relationship. Alright, is that it? Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Alright. That's it. This took a lot out of me. I'm kind of tired, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, if you guys want this video personally, in case YouTube takes it down, whatever, I will email it to you. Just email me. You know, my email is jvbell@su.edu. I'll put it down on the screen or in the bio or somewhere. I'll put it somewhere. But you can email me asking me if you want the video. I will do that. But yeah, so take care. I'm gonna go to bed. No, but seriously, like, you can't save a life. You're just delaying a death. Like, you're not saving them because eventually they're gonna die. So you're just delaying the inevitable.